Hello everybody, it's Hater. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, and Stasis is back at it again, breaking the game. What you guys have just witnessed was 5 Behemoth Titans and a Bubble Titan absolutely destroy raid boss level HP. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down why that combo does so much damage. But as per usual guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it, comment what you guys think about Behemoth Titan being able to melt raid bosses, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you'll be up to date whenever a new video comes out, and follow me over at my Twitch, it'll be down in the description. But the first thing to understand is what is causing Behemoth Titan to melt, and there are a few things that make this all come together, like a happy accident as Bob Ross would put it. Stasis crystals as a whole were buffed a while back in patch 3.4.0, increasing their freeze radius to 2.6 meters, increasing their damage to PvE combatants by around 60%, and increasing their detonation radius to 8 meters. Overall guys, this kind of buff went under the radar. The only thing that people jumped the gun, like myself, was how this buff affected Headstone and made Aya's Luna a top tier mobbing tool. No one would have guessed that 60% more crystal damage meant that Behemoth Titan would melt raid bosses. As for damage numbers, we'll use Carl as a target dummy to figure out just how much damage this is actually doing. So let's move over to Nessus and jump into the Lost sector. For starters, when we use the Behemoth Super, one right click slam is going to create 6 stasis crystals, and over the course of the full super, you're going to be able to slam for 8 times back to back, meaning we're able to create 48 total stasis crystals. To test the damage accurately, we're only going to be calculating the crystal damage since that's where most, if not all, the damage is going to come from. But Behemoth Titan by itself, no bonuses at all, is going to deal right around 24,000 damage per crystal. And because there are 6 crystals in a single slam, we're going to be multiplying that 24,000 by 6. Meaning if we hit every crystal in one right click, it's going to deal right around 144,000 damage, or 1,152,000 damage over the course of the entire super, which for super standards is a lot. For reference, a Celestial Nighthawk Hunter to Carl will only do around 300,000 damage. And this is without damage buffs. When we actually start throwing damage buffs into the equation, our 1.1 million is about to skyrocket. Because once we equip the exotic arm Syntheseps, its perk Biotic Enhancements is going to add an extra 50% more damage to our super. And because the crystals are a part of our super, their damage also increases, meaning when we have Biotic Enhancements procced and we hit Carl, that 24,000 damage from earlier is now going to turn into 36,000. Then of course, like last time, because there are 6 crystals in a single slam, we're going to multiply the 36,000 by 6, and we get 216,000 damage in a single slam. That's 70,000 more damage than when we were not using Syntheseps. Multiply this 216,000 by 8, and we're now dealing 1,728,000 damage over a full super. This means with Syntheseps, we're now on par with most DPS weapons in the meta right now, like Sleeper Simulant and Cartesian Coordinate. What if I told you though that this gets even better? Because there is still one more piece of the puzzle that lets us do even more damage than we were already doing. And that's a global debuff like Tractor Cannon, adding another 30% more damage on the already 50% we get from Syntheseps, making the damage combo a 95% damage bonus multiplicatively. For the peeps that don't know, when I say multiplicatively, it's how damage percentage is calculated in Destiny 2 when there are multiple things stacking on top of each other. I covered this topic in another video going over the kinds of damage buffs in Destiny 2 and how to calculate them. Highly recommend you guys check it out if you want to dive down the rabbit hole that is damage calculations. But with Tractor Cannon now combined with Syntheseps, when we bring it over to hit Carl, one crystal is going to deal around 46,000 damage now, which for a 95% damage increase is pretty accurate since we started with 24,000 damage in the first place. Just like before, we're going to take the 46,000 and multiply it by 6, which when we do a single slam with Syntheseps and Tractor Cannon procced at the same time, it's going to deal right around 277,782 damage. Then when we multiply that by 8, our whole super is going to deal 2,222,256 damage. That is insanity. This is why it melts raid bosses, because keep in mind that damage is one person. In a raid scenario, there are 4 more Stasis Titans at the bare minimum. So if we want to, let's say, multiply the damage by 5, we're going to be dealing a monstrous 11.1 million damage over a 10-second time frame, making this probably one of, if not the best burst damage combos in the entire game. But that, my friends, is how this damage combo works. But before I call the video here, guys, here's some aspects and fragments I recommend that you run when trying to do this combo. And the build we're going to be using is my Heart of Inmost Light Eyasluna Stasis Titan. The only difference is that we're going to be changing the Heart of Inmost Light off for Syntheseps whenever we get to a boss fight. Also, if you guys want to copy this build, there will be a dim loadout link down in the description. But to quickly sum it up, you guys are going to need an Eyasluna hand cannon with the headstone perk on it. If you don't have one, it will drop from the final boss of Grasp of Avarice. For the aspects, we're using Tectonic Harvest so that whenever we shatter crystals, we create stasis shards that give us melee energy back. We're going to be pairing this with a mod later, but for the other aspect, we're using Diamond Lance so that whenever something dies that is affected by stasis, it drops a stasis lance that we can pick up and throw to freeze more enemies or ground pound in an AoE around us. For the fragments, we're going to be using Whisper of Fissures so that we can increase the size and damage of our stasis crystals, Whisper of Shards so that whenever we shatter stasis crystals, it temporarily boosts our grenade energy recharge rate, Whisper of Rending so that our kinetic weapon, aka our Eyasluna, will one-shot stasis crystals it creates from headstones, Whisper of Conduction so that the stasis shards we create from Tectonic Harvest will suck right into us, and finally Whisper of Chain so that we take reduced damage near frozen targets or stasis crystals that are considered friendly. On the armor, we're using a combination of elemental wells with Charged with Light, and starting off with the helmet, I have it as solar with explosive well maker and a linear fusion rifle ammo finder. For my Syntheseps, I have them as solar with elemental charge at the end and the artifact Unstoppable Fusion Rifles mod. Moving over to my chest piece, I have it as stasis with elemental shards at the end of it, so that stasis shards that I pick up every 10 seconds from Tectonic Harvest will be counted as stasis elemental wells. This then also counts as stacks of Charged with Light every 10 seconds because I'm using elemental charge. Next to it, I have 2 concussive dampeners, but I could also swap them out to sniper resist or melee resist. Moving over to my boots, I have them as void with protective light, the artifact Fusion Rifle Scavenger, and better already, so orbs of power immediately start healing my shields. Then finally, over at the class item, I have it as solar with Well of Life at the end of it and particle deconstruction. Overall, guys, that is a quick rundown of my build, but the main talk of this video was going to be how to deal as much damage as possible with Behemoth Titan. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.